So this is the first day. This is going to be an amazing life. It's going to be better than this year. I have a plan for this year. We'll get to it in a minute. One thing that I want to do in about 5 minutes or so you out there can get ready for it, I'm going to show you how to pray the silent prayer. It's so important that you do that, and I find that a lot of people are not doing it, or they start and stop, and as a result, life, goes to hell in a handbasket. So we're going to do the prayer in a few minutes here, so get ready for it. I thought that maybe we'll start the year out with a prayer. Did anybody here pray this morning? See, nobody prayed. That's amazing. Why do you pray this morning?
I pray in the evening.
You pray in the evening?
Yes.
Oh, not in the mornings?
No, not all the time.
Why not?
Very seldom. The way I set up my, alarm clock and my schedule is set up is basically I haven't given that part of the day to my daily schedule, so it's been set up for evening before the sleep.
So you pray just before you go to sleep?
Maybe an hour before I go to bed.
I realize that we need God at all times, but wouldn't you need Him more during the day than you would at night while you're sleeping?
I guess so, but I'm thinking if I can just do once a day, which I'm sure more than once would be better. I still be pleased with it because I'm not too prompt with it, and once a day is a victory for me.
If you're going to do it once a day, because God said pray without ceasing. But let's say you have decided, well, I'm just going to pray one time a day. I would recommend you doing it the first thing in the morning, because you have all these challenges during the day. When you're out and about, dealing with people, dealing with life, you have a whole lot of things to deal with. And so the best time to do it, if you're only going to do it once a day, should be first thing in the morning. What do you think about that? Because at night, the only thing you have to deal with is demons while you're sleeping. Are you too lazy to get up early in the morning?
Yeah, I have a hard time waking up.
Oh, I see.
I would always roll around the bed for extra 5 to 10 minutes after the alarm rang.
Yeah. Do you know that successful people are up early in the morning?
Yes.
And do you plan on becoming successful one day?
Yes.
Do you know that the early bird get the worm?
Yes.
And do you plan to get the worm one day?
I will try that.
You're not going to get it while you're sleeping.
No.
Gee, you didn't pray this morning either?
Man, I stayed in prayer all morning. I'm in prayer right now.
Oh, you woke up praying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. Did you pray this morning?
No, I did not.
You did not? And why not?
I just forgot. I thought I was coming here and I would get it done here.
Okay. At least that's honesty. All right, well, I want you to know that it's so important that you pray. And God wants us to pray without ceasing, because our battle is a spiritual battle. A warfare between good and evil is we're always at war, whether we know it or not. And so today, I'm going to show you how to do it. And hopefully you'll stick with it. Also, I have a theme for this year. And the theme is, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. And so all year, starting today, you cannot let your left hand know what the right hand is doing. All year. Isn't that amazing? We talked about it here one day. Mary, you remember?
Let's see. I think you said it was. I don't remember.
Raymond, you remember?
This is the best answer I can give you. Never let your ego get in the way of your conscience.
Never let your ego get in the way of your conscience.
Or
Wrong.
Yeah.
No. Wrong.
It means don't let your intellect get in the way of your communication with God.
Don't let your intellect get in the way of communication with God,
Or God's communication with you.
or God's communication with you. Raw.
Right.
Robert, you were here.
You cannot reveal God your analysis thought process. That's what I interpret it as being never talk with your left hand with your right hand. Yeah.
Let me ask Ermias. This is a nice way. The theme this year, do not let your left hand know what the right hand is doing. This is going to be so much fun. This, do you know what it means?
You're not supposed to let the world, like if you're giving, don't brag and say, oh, you know what, I did this, I did that. Don't take all your reward, in public.
Raw. So, don't let their left hand know what the right hand is doing.
They're doing it right now. Not to hold on to anything. Don't hold on to nothing. You got to be like an empty vessel and let God fill it up. So don't hold on to pretty much anything, the good and the bad.
That's right. Isn't that something? So this year, you have to be wide open all the time. 365 days in a year. I got the same old love. Good question. You have to be open. You don't want. Well, I'll let him ask the question first.
Yeah, I don't see how you got that from that passage.
I know. Yes, Mark. Yeah.
You used an example of Trump. All day, every day, he gets insulted, horribly, and he keeps his eye on the prize.
Yeah.
I use my example as you. You listen 3 hours a day to people from all over the world. You don't focus on remembering their names. You focus on what's important in their life.
That's
You
right.
keep your eye on the prize, and you forget everything else.
That's right. Even when you receive wisdom, someone says something and understanding comes, or God give you wisdom, don't hold on to that either. Because the moment you hold on to that, your cup is full, you can receive no more. God wants us to be like a brand new baby. Always open to learn and discover, always growing. And a lot of people make mistakes by when they learn something or hear something, they hold on to it, and 20 years go by and they still repeating that. You hate your mama. The Lord said this, the Lord said, and they have not grown at all because they fill their cup with the little information that they received. And so stop at that point. So this year, you want to be open. You want your cup to be empty or half full. Leave enough room in there so you can get more. And I'm going to tell you in a minute how to do that. Ermin, does that make sense?
That makes sense, but
Yeah.
I don't see how the left hand don't let the right hand.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I don't see the connection.
Oh, I love it. That's right. I'll show you the connection in a minute. Good question. Yes, Mark.
I think a big part of what you're communicating is you may think you know what your plan is, what God has planned for you, but you don't.
That's right.
You don't know what He wants. Like I may think, God wants me to teach judo, but I don't know.
That's right.
And I need to just every day be with Him, and He will reveal it to me.
Yep. You need to get up and just be. Life is about being. It's about constantly discovering, just be. Without a plan, as Mark was saying, let God's will be done, not your will. And if you have a plan, then your will be done and not God. I'm telling you, there's nothing like it. Nothing like it at all. Just get up and just be. I mean, consider the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees. They just be. They wake up every morning with the sunshine and just be. And God wants the same thing for us. He wants us to be, remember He said, be like children? Just open to learn and let Him take care of you, guide you, instruct your life. You have a better life, that's for sure. I know families, husbands and wives who have destroyed their children with information. because they thought that was it. They grabbed that information, held on to it, and just pounded into the children and just screwed up their lives because they gave them empty knowledge rather than the parents just being, and so that the children can see and follow that. They learn by what they see, not what you say. I am loving this.
So I think the difference is there's two metaphors here. One is don't let the left hand know what the right is doing, and that is physically and spiritually, mentally, your way, right? And what G was saying to explain that was that you have to be an empty vessel, right? And what I said to explain that was that you don't know what God has planned for you. You think you do, but you don't. So don't be like, okay, I'm going to be rich. I'm going to take care of everybody. I'm going to be the alpha. It's just wake up and be. And I think that's what G was saying, so that we can understand the first metaphor, which is keep your eye on the prize.
And to add to that, so what you're going to do this year is that you're going to stay away from thoughts, period. The good things that you learn and the bad things you learn. You're not going to hold on to either one. And so by not holding on to what you've learned, you don't give room to the devil to feed your imagination on what you've learned. And the devil is your left hand. And if you learn, like, don't hate, right? And you remember that, he'll start repeating that to you and make you think that you have it, and you don't. So when you hear don't hate, let it go in one ear and out the other one, so your mind can stay present with God. A clear mind is a present mind with God, and then He will reveal. But if you're like learning what you're hearing, then the left hand is picking it up and using it against you. You want to practice present. God is here and now. Right here, right now. He's not in the past. He's not in the future. He's right here, right now. And the only way you're going to experience that, you got to have a clear mind. You cannot hold on to this stuff. The enemy will use it against you. Never let the left hand know what the right hand is doing. You want to stay away from holding on to knowledge. The knowledge of good and evil is a horrible mistake to hold on to. And then you shall hear from God. All right? Yes, Raymond.
I guess the real reason why we as people I have problems with learning this in the way you've been taught is because I was trained to learn in a certain way and was never allowed to question it. It's very difficult for somebody, for a person like me to rise above it.
Yeah, I understand. Well, this year, you're going to not let the left hand know, and doing that, you'll rise above it. It's going to be an amazing year. Are you guys excited about this, ladies? Yeah. Not let the left hand, it's going to be interesting. You know, if not every year, most year I give out our theme for the year, and then 2 or 3 weeks later I ask, what's our theme for the year? Most people don't remember. So I expect most will forget, but those who are truly seeking the right way will know. All right? They will remember, but most will not. So I expect I can come back next Sunday and say, what's the theme of this year? A lot of people are not going to know. But it's so important because you want to learn to, God wants you to have His mind. He said, be one mindset with Him. And the only way you're going to have that, you got to have an empty cup. You can't hold on to anything. Yes, G.
How do you do that with separating the things that you got to do, on your daily? You don't want to be holding on to, I got to go feed the dog, I got to go wash the car, do this and this and that, But you still got to get things done.
Yeah. It's funny you asked that question. It just crossed my mind. What do I tell the people about that? Let's say you got to feed the dog. Go feed the dog and then let the information go. You don't need to hold on to it. The job is done. you know. Or if you're building a house, build a house, use the information, the knowledge. Once you're done, at the end of the day, let it go.
Yeah, I kind of got the idea. I was like laying, thinking about cleaning the house. I'm like, well, thinking about it is not going to get the house
That's
clean.
right. That's right. So let it go. You want to keep your cup empty. Do not let the left hand know what the right hand is doing. That makes sense now, Amar? Yeah. But you're going to have to pray in order to do that. We're going to do the prayer here in a minute. I want to show you how to do it out there too, so get ready. All right, we've never done this. I don't think we've ever done it during the church service. All right? And I've decided that we're going to do it. I'm telling you, life is so amazing. You got to go backwards and not forward in what you know. You know, the world tells us, learn more, learn more, learn more. Get this and get that. So we think God operates in the same way. He doesn't. He wants you to discover. He doesn't want you to learn. All right? He wants you to discover. Do you remember what we said about self-knowledge? We talked about that last year too. What is self-knowledge?
Understanding your weaknesses, your tendencies to run away or surrender to the, to different thoughts and feelings.
Raw. This is so much fun. God said, think on these things. Not what you're going to wear, what you're going to eat, where you're going to sleep, who you're going to play with. Marilyn, we talked about self-knowledge last year. What did I say? What did we say it meant?
I don't remember.
Know thyself. You don't remember?
No.
Oh, okay. Amazing. Kelly, this feels like school, huh? Self-knowledge. This is going to come with not letting the left hand know what the right hand is doing. If you pick up on these little simple things, you're going to have a great life. And the more you get, the more you want. It's like the more you get, the more I want. You hear this? All these songs keep popping up. Trying to interfere with my left hand here. Yes, self-knowledge. We talked about that.
I think I was absent for this lesson.
Of course. Yes, self-knowledge.
So what you said, get to know yourself by going within and knowing the mind of God. Once I see that I'm wrong by seeking to repent.
Self-knowledge? Okay. Somewhat right. You're on the right track. You wrote it down?
Yeah, I wrote it down.
That's good. All right. Get ready for the prayer. We're going to do the prayer in a minute. I'm waiting until all the late folks get here, the partiers. How many people partied last night? Like it was 1999. No, we didn't. All right. Forrest, you didn't party. I partied hard. He went from the front room to the back room.
To me, I think it's just knowing yourself, understanding your weaknesses, understanding how your mind can trick you and deceive you into thinking that, you can control your actions. And so I think that's what it means, really, just really understanding your nature,
Okay.
knowing your nature.
All right. Raw. No, good try.
Know thyself. Know that without God, you're evil. You're capable of nothing.
Self-knowledge. Okay. Raw. No. Yes, right here.
Self-knowledge is just like, I guess, you get to know a certain person by spending time with him or being around him. You learn about that person. And self-knowledge would be the same thing if you kind of keep your eyes on yourself while you're living your life. But the experiences that you have, the feelings, how you react on all that, when your eyes on yourself, you learn, and it gives you self-knowledge, basically, who you are, how you are,
Okay. All you guys are right. I'm messing with you a little bit by saying wrong, but yeah. It's New Year's Day. The young lady with the glasses here, you were here when we talked about self-knowledge. What is self-knowledge?
That's a concept I don't understand.
Self-knowledge, you know thyself.
But what is that?
You look at yourself and see who you are objectively. Strengths, weaknesses, and you don't evaluate them, you just look and see. And with
Amazing.
they're going to change. And you're going to get better.
All right. Okay, I would give it up right now if I were you. I would give the mic back to the floor guy.
I want my money back.
Oh, James, self-knowledge.
It's just paying attention to what's going on in your mind and everything. Don't look at me like
that. Amazing. Francisco, self-knowledge. I know you know.
I can't think right. I don't know.
Did you party last night?
Yes, I did.
Like it was 1999?
Sure did.
All right. Whew. Okay, we're talking about the left hand not knowing what the right hand is doing. Self-knowledge is part of that. You know what I like about life? I don't know. It's almost like a trick has been played on us. Like someone is playing a trick on us in that they have made life so difficult for us, and as a result, we're all tripping. You know, sex and drugs and lies and video games and hatred and all that, because they have made it so difficult that it traumatizes us, and now we have to use the world to try to make it through. Whereas when God says life is simple, His way is so simple that we're missing it. And He gives us clues. Be like a child. Look at the way they deal. Consider the birds and the bees and the flower and the trees. And we are better than they are. He's like telling us, but we're not paying attention. It's so simple that I don't have it all yet. And that's why I'm so excited when I get it. It made me want more, because I know that it's simpler than what I can see. It is so simple. Right here.
Self-knowledge is what we see and allow to pass so the true self can come forward. Because there are two selves. And we get hung up on the one self, observing it and studying it and being aware of it and falling to it eventually. And we never find the true self behind that.
Okay. Did your left hand just tell you that?
Yes.
Based on your right hand give you some information?
Yeah. The word pain occurred to me, and I really don't get much self-knowledge until some pain comes my way, by way of my own actions or words or, someone dealing me an injustice, and then I react to it by having pain.
Okay.
And then I get the true self-knowledge.
Self-knowledge is a state of non-judgmental attention. Isn't that amazing? A state of non-judgmental attention. For an example, if you are not holding on to any knowledge at all, whether it's wisdom from God or from the world, so your left hand has nothing to feed on. It can't, because you're not giving it anything. You're not holding on to knowledge, right? And that means that if you're not holding on to anything, you're not judging or making any kind of decisions about anything. So when you do see things within yourself that's going on, you have no opinion about it at all. You are the observer of it. You don't call it good or bad, right or wrong. You just observe it. You have no opinion. That's how you get to know yourself. As long as you see what brings on the pain that you mentioned is when you do see something about yourself, you formulate an opinion about it. Oh, I'm so bad. or I'm so good, or I'm not that bad, or so-and-so did this to me or something. You have an opinion. But if you're not letting your left hand know what the right hand is doing, you're not going to have an opinion. Because of ourselves, we know nothing, and of ourselves, we can do nothing. We're absolutely dumb. We really don't know. Especially when it comes to spiritual, and we are a spirit. When it comes to the spiritual life, the worst thing you can do is try to remember. Is to try to learn. And it's to have an opinion. Because we really don't know. Isn't that something? We really are dummies. And once you realize that and see of yourself you could do nothing and of yourself you know nothing, you're going to be happy about it. Now, here's what I want you to be careful of. Right now, the right hand is holding on to this information. Repeated it, holding on to it. The left hand going to pick up on it, and you're going to go out saying, I'm dumb. I don't know anything. That's not the right way. You want to observe it, not do that either. All right? Yes, and then I'm going to show you how to pray real fast here.
Where does experiences come in to this? You know how people will say, well, I'm experienced now, so I know more how to deal with it. I'm experienced this. And we form a lot of our opinions or next step what to do based on experiences.
Like, experience come in when you work on a job for 5 years. Physical work.
Okay.
Because what we're talking about now is life. Living. Having to return into the Father and becoming His son or daughter and living that way. So you can't, this is no
the experience I'm talking about is like, say, a temptation comes and you failed to it before and you see the pattern of your failure, how the temptation comes, how it talks to you and all this stuff. And yet, even though you've had that experience of failing to it and you know how to fail to it, you fail to it again.
Right.
And it's like,
because you don't overcome that with experience. You overcome that by letting go. You can't have an opinion about it. Because what I've noticed is that we as human beings in our ego state, we do get into all kinds of situations, right? And we say, wow, how did this happen? I'm never going to do this again. This is crazy. I know a couple weeks ago, we talked about men should not be giving women money and taking them on trips and hotels and stuff like that when they are dating, because it's just a date. You're getting to know the person. And the reason I started talking about that, because I'm counseling with some guys around the country, and they're going through that. They have a lot of money, and they're spending it on the women, and then the women are taking advantage of them. In the meantime, they're falling in love with the woman, and she can care less, because you have taught her that you're going to take care of her, so you made her take advantage of you. It's like giving welfare people free stuff. And you stop their growth and cause them to figure out how to scam the system, how to do that. So women are scamming these guys. And these guys are in love, and then they find out that she never loved me. And they think it's her fault, but it's their fault. When I was growing up, there was no way. I think I would have gotten a whooping if my grandfather had heard that I was spending that kind of money on a girlfriend. We would have been laughed off the plantation. So I'm talking to these guys. I'm like, okay, don't do it. They're like, okay, I won't. You're right. And so the pain goes away. That pain of finding out she didn't really care about you. And then they work and get the woman back, and they go right back into the same thing, either with a new woman or the same woman. And so because their ego hasn't died, they're just, they had the pain because they did wrong, but they go back into that situation. Once the pain is gone, you forget about the situation and you find yourself back into it again. And that's why experience doesn't work in this situation.
Got it. But
you're not overcoming it.
The advice you give to men in dating is the perfect advice, except for the fact that when men and women get together, especially, I can speak for myself, I'm not trying to get to know them so much as I'm trying to impress them in dates. And
Right.
that's where I
That's why
go
you spend all the
wrong.
money, huh?
And I figure that's where
And
a lot of
women
men
are
go
thinking,
wrong.
wow, he's trying to impress me.
Yeah.
Let's do a 5-star hotel this time.
Yep.
I'll show him impress.
But let's say you don't even impress with money. You are impressing with a resume. You're impressing with, where you've been,
Yeah.
what you've done, and all this kind of stuff. And
Right.
it becomes, you're not really trying to find out the other person. You're not relaxed enough to want to get to know them. You're just trying to lay out some kind of,
But, and you're right, that does happen. But when we were growing up, it was just, it didn't make sense that you were spending money on a girl. It's not your wife. It's someone passing by that's most of the time you're not going to be with that long anyway. So it doesn't make sense to spend that kind of money on somebody passing by. I'm
not
it's not
defending.
manly.
I'm not defending spending a lot of money to impress, but when men don't have an impressive resume, they will use the money to impress instead of, what they are.
What's a resume?
Oh, what you've done, what you've accomplished, who you've been with, or whatever.
Oh, maybe you shouldn't get into all that with them. It's not their business where you come from. Don't let them know you have money. Play pool.
But what is the getting to know you then part?
A woman can know you without knowing your resume, because the moment if you're sitting there saying, "Here's my resume. I'm a doctor. I make $50,000 an hour. I live in wherever," she thinks, "Wow, this is money. Money, honey. I love this resume." It's best to just hang out and get to know each other. Learn about. Don't just read off your resume.
Well, you're right. I mean,
Because that's just what you do. That's not who you are.
Yeah, you're right. That's why the rich like to date the rich, so they don't have to worry about impressing each other so much, or the poor hang out with the poor, because then the woman's not expecting them to be rich.
But it's not even what she expects anyway. It's who you are. A woman wants a good man. She wants someone that she can trust and she's comfortable with and feeling safe with. She's not into all that. It's the man into all that because he wants something else from her, as you just said, to impress her in order to get something else. I wanted to do the prayer because we run out of time already. And so I want to take a few minutes, just silent prayer, all right? Get ready, folks at home. We're going to do the silent prayer for a moment here. So what I want you to do is to sit straight up in your chairs. God said, be still and know. He wants you to let go, let go, let go, let go, all right? Let go of all that you know. Let go of the past. Let go of the future and live now. In order to get to where we want to go, you're going to have that mindset of God, your creator, your father. You got to return to the Father and develop his mindset and not Satan's mindset, because that's what most people are operating from now. So I just want to take a few minutes here and show you how to pray. You can also download the prayer, the silent prayer. But I thought if we could just do it for a few minutes together here, it'll help. So I want you can let your arms relax or relax on your lap or whatever. But I want you to just close your eyes, relax, and let go. Relax and let go. I want you to realize that you have Christ in you. He's with you. You have God is with you. You have the Holy Spirit with you. And the Holy Spirit will intercede on your behalf. It'll pray for you. And if the Holy Spirit pray for you, then the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. But when you pray for yourself, then the left hand is listening and it'll set you up. It will set you up. But the Holy Spirit have a connection with God, and he will intercede on your behalf. So that's why you should be still and know him. So just close your eyes, relax, and just let go. Let your whole body just relax. be still and know God. Just be still and know Him and allow the Holy Spirit to intercede for you. See, God loves us. He brought Christ. He put everything back in order so that we can return to Him through our earthly father and back to the Creator by way of forgiveness. So just let go, and whatever thoughts you're having, whatever's on your mind right now, just relax and let it go. If it's telling you about last night party or someone is mad at you or whatever, let all that go for right now. Just be right in the center of your forehead where thoughts are coming and going. Just be aware of that, but don't hold on to it. Just stand back from your thoughts within your mind's eyes and let thoughts go. That's your left hand. So let the left hand go because it's feeding off knowledge that you have received. It's feeding off the right hand. And so let all thoughts go. Just totally relax. Let yourself breathe. I'm going to make it really simple. Let yourself breathe. You're already set up to breathe. You don't have to force it. Just relax and breathe naturally. All right? You want to just let go, let God. Don't hold on to anything. Let yourself breathe. And right in the center of your forehead, become aware of that area up there, right above your eyebrows. And just stand back like looking at a movie, and whatever thoughts are coming, those that seem bad, let them go. Those that seem good, let them go. Those that seem sad, let them go. Those that bring up the past or the future, let them go. Hold on to nothing. Hold on to nothing. And remember that the Holy Spirit is interceding on your behalf. He's praying for you. We know not what to pray for. We know not what to ask for. So why do you ask? And when there is a time when your words will come, but they will come naturally, then you can ask with those words. They'll come on their own. All right, so just relax and let go. And you could be aware of the sounds around you, because everything you hear is happening in the present. So your mind is in the present with God's mind, and it become one. The two become one. God wants you to have His mindset. Just relax and let go. And this is all to the prayer. Don't open your eyes or anything right now. Just relax for a few minutes. I just want to explain it to the audience out there. This is all to it. I recommend you do it the first thing in the morning when you wake up. God said get up early and seek Him. So I recommend you do it before 6 a.m. in the morning. Get up and the best is sit up, because if not, you'll fall asleep, like some in the congregation right now. And if you do fall asleep, don't judge that. Don't make a decision. Just get up and go back to bed and do whatever you're going to do. Because all your stress is coming down on you now that you're letting go. So, first thing in the morning before 6 a.m. and the last thing at night before going to bed. And if you're going to get sleepy at 9:30, I recommend you do it at 9 p.m. Whatever the time you might go to bed. All right? So that you don't fall asleep right away. This is all to it. Just be still and know God. Become as little children unto the Father, and He'll take care of you. Do not let your left hand know what the right hand is doing. The left hand cannot understand the voice of God. Cannot. So as things are being revealed to you with the voiceless voice, it doesn't know it. All right. So you guys can wake up, come back to life. How was that? Good. It was fun? Mary, you were falling asleep. You were like this. I thought you were going to fall out of the chair. and some of you, when you first start doing this, you will fall asleep because all the stress that you've been carrying in your mind and in your body is all, you're letting go of it, so your body is relaxing. And once you learn not to let the left hand know what the right hand is doing, you're going to live a relaxed life. You're not going to, no matter what happens, you're not going to be stressed. You're not going to be stressed out behind it. Stress is out here, and stress is good because it forces you to become your best. But you don't want it to get on the inside because it destroys you from within. All right? It has its job, but it should not enter inside. And the other thing I recommend, that you overcome the anger. Return to the Father. Salvation is about a return to the Father. And no man is going to enter into the kingdom unless he forgive. All right? You must forgive. How was the prayer?
Kind of almost fell asleep too, and I felt like a relief of stress, you know? Just feel a lot better.
That's right. Because you're letting go. And so if you do what I'm asking you to do, not to let the left hand know what the right hand is doing, you're going to always be like that. You're not going to be stressed out mentally and emotionally and all that stuff. All right? God said that we should take on His way. His way is easy. His yoke is light. His burdens are light. And that's because we don't have to carry them. He'll take care of us. This is going to be fun. Can't you tell it's just going to be exciting? And let go of all your anger. If you do what I'm telling you to do, the anger has to flee. You must forgive. There's never, ever, ever, ever a reason to hold anything against anyone. No matter what they say about you, it doesn't matter what they do to you, it's their problem and not yours. It only becomes your problem when you become angry at what's happening. All right? Pray for them instead of getting mad at them. Pray for them. Pray for your enemy. Pray for those who hate you or misuse you or lie on you. So when someone tells you, oh, they said this about you, your response should be, pray for that person. And this year, don't allow anyone to come to you and talk to you about your fellow man. Because if that person is coming to you to talk to you about someone else, they're going to go to someone else and talk to them about you. If you got a problem with a person, you go to that person, you deal with it, and let it go. It's all laid out, but you got to not let the left hand know what the right hand is doing. All right? I don't know what God has in store for us, but I think it's going to be a good year. It's going to be good. In our government, it's going to be good. In the media, it's going to be good. And in our personal life, it should be good.
When I sing of Jesus, of His saving grace, I feel His blessed presence, my soul He does embrace. Sometimes I get so happy, I forget my song, to know I've been invited to that singing of home. We're just rehearsing, and someday we'll sing together in a band around God's throne.
So this is the first day. This is going to be an amazing life. It's going to be better than this year. I have a plan for this year, and we'll get to it in a minute. One thing that I want to do in about 5 minutes or so you out there can get ready for it, I'm going to show you how to pray, the silent prayer. It's so important that you do that, and I find that a lot of people are not doing it, or they start and stop, and as a result, life goes to hell in a handbasket. So we're going to do the prayer in a few minutes here, so get ready for it. I thought that maybe we'll start the year out with a prayer. Did anybody here pray this morning? See, nobody prayed. That's amazing. Why did you pray this morning?
I pray in the evening.
You pray in the evening?
Yes.
Oh, not in the mornings?
No, not all the time.
Why not?
Very seldom. The way I set up my, alarm clock and my schedule is set up is basically I haven't given that part of the day to my daily schedule, so it's been set up for evening before the sleep.
So you pray just before you go to sleep?
Maybe an hour before I go to bed.
Oh, you woke up praying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. Did you pray this morning?
No, I did not.
You did not, and why not?
I just forgot. Like, I thought I was coming here and I would get it done here.
Okay. At least that's honesty. All right, well, I want you to know that it's so important that you pray. And God wants us to pray without ceasing because our battle is a spiritual battle. A warfare between good and evil is we're always at war, whether we know it or not. And so today, I'm going to show you how to do it. And hopefully you'll stick with it. Also, I have a theme for this year. And the theme is, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. And so all year, starting today, you cannot let your left hand know what the right hand is doing. All year. Isn't that amazing? We talked about it here one day. Mary, you remember?
Let's see. I think you said it was. I don't remember.
You know, Raymond, you remember?
This is the best answer I can give you. Never let your ego get in the way of your conscience.
Never let your ego get in the way of your conscience.
Or
Wrong.
yeah.
No. Wrong.
It means don't let your intellect get in the way of your communication with God.
Don't let your intellect get. I realize that we need God at all times, but wouldn't you need Him more during the day than you would at night while you're sleeping?
I guess so, but I'm thinking if I can just do once a day, which I'm sure more than once would be better. I still be pleased with it because I'm not too prompt with it, and once a day is a victory for me.
If you're going to do it once a day, because God said pray without ceasing. But let's say you have decided, well, I'm just going to pray one time a day. I would recommend you doing it the first thing in the morning because you have all these challenges during the day. You know, when you're out and about dealing with people, dealing with life, you have a whole lot of things to deal with. And so the best time to do it, if you're only going to do it once a day, should be first thing in the morning. What do you think about that? Because at night, the only thing you have to deal with is demons while you're sleeping. Are you like too lazy to get up early in the morning?
Yeah, I have a hard time waking up.
Oh, I see.
I would always roll around the bed for extra 5 to 10 minutes after the alarm rang.
Yeah. Do you know that successful people are up early in the morning?
Yes.
And do you plan on becoming successful one day?
Yes.
Do you know that the early bird get the worm?
Yes.
And do you plan to get the worm one day?
I will try that.
You're not going to get it while you're sleeping.
No.
Gee, you didn't pray this morning either?
Man, I stayed in prayer all morning. I'm in prayer
you're
right now.
in the way of communication with God.
Or God's communication with you.
Or God's communication with you. Raw.
Right.
Robert, you were here.
You cannot reveal God your analysis thought process. That's what I interpret it as being never talk with your left hand with your right hand. Yeah.
Let me ask Ermias. This is a nice way. The theme this year, do not let your left hand know what the right hand is doing. It's going to be so much fun. Do you know what it means?
You're not supposed to let the world, like if you're giving, don't brag and say, oh, you know what, I did this, I did that. Don't take all your reward, in public.
Raw. So, don't let their left hand know what the right hand is doing.
They're doing it right now. Not to hold on to anything. Don't hold on to nothing. You got to be like an empty vessel and let God
Amen.
fill it up. So don't hold on to pretty much anything, the good and the bad.
That's right. Isn't that something? So this year, you have to be wide open all the time. 365 days in a year. I got the same old love. Good question. You have to be open. You don't want. Well, I'll let him ask the question first.
Yeah, I don't see how you got that from that passage.
Yeah, I know. Yes, Mark. Yeah.
You used an example of Trump. All day, every day, he gets insulted, horribly, and he keeps his eye on the prize.
Yeah.
I use my example as you. You listen 3 hours a day to people from all over the world. You don't focus on remembering their names. You focus on what's important in their life.
That's
You
right.
keep your eye on the prize, and you forget everything else.
That's right. Even when you receive wisdom, someone says something and understanding comes, or God give you wisdom, don't hold on to that either. Because the moment you hold on to that, your cup is full, you can receive no more. God wants us to be like a brand new baby. Always open to learn and discover, always growing. And a lot of people make mistakes by when they learn something or hear something, they hold on to it, and 20 years go by and they're still repeating that. You hate your mama. The Lord said this, the Lord said, and they have not grown at all because they fill their cup with the little information that they received. And so stop at that point. So this year, you want to be open. You want your cup to be empty or half full. Leave enough room in there so you can get more. And I'm going to tell you in a minute how to do that. Irma, did that make sense?
That makes sense, but
Yeah.
I don't see how the left hand don't let the right hand.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I don't see the connection.
Oh, I love it. That's right. I'll show you the